Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Nagasaki Caddy, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. This is the second most voted for vehicle this week, coming in with 11 votes. You can vote for the vehicles that you want to see tested in Will It Off-Road by clicking on the link in the description down below. And if you're a Patreon supporter, you have an opportunity to have your votes count twice, or have somebody else's votes count twice if that's what you decide you want your double votes to count for. Why not? Anyways, the Nagasaki Caddy, an electric utility vehicle that you can't own, you can't store. There might be a glitch or something, but I don't do glitches, so really the only way to get one is if you're lucky and they just happen to be spawning at the golf course in a race when you choose utility class, or if you place them in a death match, as I have done, and Rocket helping me with the death match. Wait, idle. I think he went to go to the bathroom or something. I don't know. But so far, the Caddy's doing all right. I mean, it's not fast by any stretch of the imagination, and it is incredibly light. So every little bump just wants to send it bouncing all around, because that's the way physics work in GTA. But so far, so good. I mean, it's holding its speed, you know, as much as we can call this speed. There is a amount of speed here, but oh god, it's gonna start struggling right here. And even though I was full throttle, it just starts going backwards. What's odd is normally when vehicles start going backwards like that, they'll do a burnout and the wheels will spin. Not so in the Caddy. It just loses traction and starts going backwards immediately, which is odd for an electric vehicle because they're known for being very, very, very torquey in the game. So this one functions a little bit different. Well, not even just in the game are they torquey. They're torquey everywhere. But yeah, not the best performance here. I was really kind of disappointed given how well it started that we're all of a sudden having problems. So I'm going to back way up, see if I can't get a lot of speed here, and just try to push through this section. Ooh, got a lot of air, which is going to cost some time. It bounced it up to the side, which slowed it down, and right about the same spot. Once again, couldn't make it. Gonna give it one more shot here. Lining it up. And here we go. Gonna give it this one last shot to see if this thing can make it or not. But as the text appears on the screen, you know what that means. Nope, it won't off-road. In fact, it's getting the DNF for the Ascent because, well, it's just not going to make it. I did keep trying. You can see there right now we've got about 15 minutes left. Here it is when I finally gave up about 4 minutes later. A little over 4 minutes later. So I kept trying, but it never went anywhere. That's full throttle, by the way. No, it doesn't seem like it, but that's full throttle. Anyways, even though it DNF'd, I know what you guys are all here for. You guys are here to see me fling this thing off the side of Mount Chiliad. So let's do that, shall we? We've got a few minutes left in the death match, and the way I am now at the top, and you notice it's a different color as well, is down at the ground at the gondola place in their parking lot. I have a couple hydras parked, so I just fly a jet up to the top, bail out, and then at the top of the mountain is a copy of the same vehicles that are at the bottom. It just makes it a little easier for me if a vehicle can't quite make it to the top. But look at this thing getting all beat up. And what's really weird about the Caddy is at several points during this, the collision sounds aren't going to match up with what's happening on the screen. Sometimes a really big impact will sound like a person hitting something. Sometimes the collision sounds happen over a bump. And it's really weird. I thought my audio was out of sync with the video, but it's not, because there's other ambient sounds later in the video. They're edited out because it's just me and Rocket goofing off, shooting each other and shooting at traffic and things. But those sounds are all perfectly in sync. But sometimes they're delayed, like right there. I hit that rock, and yet the boom was much later. And so the Caddy is very weird. I tried replicating this in a lobby by one I stole from the golf course, and it didn't do it there. And then I tried 2 different races. In one race, the sound was out of sync, and in one race, the sound was in sync. So I just, and that's while playing, not while recording. The sound's just out of sync while playing the game. So the Caddy's got something weird going on with its audio files that I don't really understand. But whatever. Despite what you're hearing, the sound is not out of sync with the video. It is all synced up. It's just the Caddy itself is weird. And it's also getting banged up. There's Rocket on the lawnmower. The lawnmower was that last week? I don't remember. The lawnmower was either last week or it's coming up. One of the two. But there was a lawnmower sitting there. So I did them both in this death match. And, well, so he decided to ride around on it. But we're finally down in our damage descent. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Let's take a look at how much damage this thing took. Its windshield is gone. That's the only glass on this. It has bent wheels and very, very significant body damage done to the One Ball Wonder. That's what it says on the thing. But that brings us to our next vehicle, the Ocelot F620. Coming in with 49 votes, making it the topmost voted for vehicle this week. And of course, don't forget to vote for the vehicles that you want to see by clicking on that link in the description down below. We currently have a brand new record. It's still a few weeks away because I have 2 more weeks of videos already recorded before somebody started voting on a spree. That's all I can really call it. That or serial voting, one of the two. We're going to have a vehicle coming up that has over 1,000 votes. And I'm pretty sure they're all from one person. You can rig the votes in Will It Off-Road if you really want to. If you've got that much time to kill and there's a specific vehicle you really want to see, hey, go for it. But this week we're looking at the F620, a car I actually happen to like. I mean, I know it's not the fastest and it's not the best handling and all that, but I like the looks of it and I like the sound of it. So I have it in my Ocelot garage with a bunch of other great-looking cars from Ocelot. And it does pretty well here off-road. I mean, it's a rear-wheel drive car, but it seems to have enough grip here in the dirt that the wheels aren't just spinning around. It's real easy to manage everything with some good throttle control. Even when the wheels, like just a second ago, they started to spin a little bit, but it's just let off a little bit, and the thing just keeps going. I'm really pleased with how the F620 is handling in the dirt. It's not bouncing all around on the bumps and jumps. It's staying fairly planted on the ground, which is exactly what you want when you're, driving up a mountain. Not that I have any real life practical application of that, but, in video games, tons of it. So yeah, it's a pretty drama-free climb. I mean, again, a little wheel spin now and then, but nothing that can't be corrected. It does go a little wide in a couple of the corners because of the way I'm on and off the throttle, but that comes just down to the throttle response and the way things are weird in the game when you're accelerating and decelerating. But you can hear I'm able to really get on the gas pretty hard several times throughout this entire climb. And it's going to turn in a pretty decent time. In fact, this is going to become the new 4th fastest coupe up Mount Chiliad. Granted, I've only tested, 5 total coupes? So, yeah, I know it's still in the bottom end of it, but it's not that much slower than some of the other coupes that we've tested. It comes in about 16 seconds slower than the fastest, which climbing the side of a mountain, that's not a huge difference. It's not going to make that under 3-minute mark to get the really, really good run, but it is going to come pretty close. Just because, again, it's pretty effortless to do here. There we go, climbing on up. And we're almost to the top. Going to come around to our last slippery bit here. Pushed right up and over that without too much effort. And we are up in the F620, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Will it off-road? It sure will. Quite got a bit dirty, but, you know, hey, that's fine. We just drove up the side of a mountain. We can handle a little bit of dirt. But that means we now have to take it for a controlled descent back down the side of Mount Chiliad. So we're going to head on back down and see what's what. The F620 has decent brakes. They're not the best when it comes to coupes, but they should suffice for what we need it to do. But wait till we get all the way on the ground. This thing's going to have one heck of a finish. It's pretty spectacular. It is getting a little more airborne than I'd like to see over some of these jumps. And I don't know if that's due to the suspension or if that's due to the weight of the car. I don't drive the F620 all that often. And when I do drive it, it's never off-road. So I don't have a whole lot of experience to know exactly what is causing the bounciness in this car when we're going back down the mountain. Especially since we didn't experience it really all that much going up. Makes me think it's down to suspension and not weight. Because usually cars that are lightweight will bounce over bumps going up the hill as well as down. Had a wheel up in the air going around that turn, but we handled the uneven bit there really well. Just like it was nothing. First little jump, a little front heavy, a little squirrely on the landing, but nothing that can't be fixed. I do like that you can steer this car with the gas pedal. That helps a whole lot when you're in the dirt. Next big jump, don't have it lined up quite a bit, or quite well, but it went fine anyway. Coming up to our next jump here. Let's see what we do. Again, not the best lineup. Ooh, really front heavy dive there, but that was more because I didn't have it lined up. I'm really pushing this car hard though, because I really think it can handle it. And got really squirrely in that one. Almost spun completely around, but able to correct it with the braking and steering. Got a good, nice jump in there. A good, nice jump. Well, I'm just struggling with English today, aren't I? That's different from any other day. How? I had to get on the brakes there because I got a little too much speed. Coming down to the last little bit of trail, the part that's really hard to actually differentiate where the trail is. Past the tree of mini crashes, once again escaping that tree's body damaging grip. And off of the dirt, onto some really nasty asphalt here. Not the best. The back end coming around because the F620 does not get a spoiler, so it doesn't have the best grip. Going around the last really big bend, and check out this finish here. Got into the dirt, rolled it, flipped it a little bit, but we're down. 2 minutes, 44 seconds, even if we are in the middle of the highway. But let's go back to the top of Mount Chiliad with some busted out lights already. Fling it off the side of the mountain and see what's what. Since this car has been in the game since launch, it does have some good damage models, so we should see some actual damage there. Boy, it soared for quite a while. However, we're going to see a lot of this. This car loves to be on its roof during these falls. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why it kept winding up on its roof, but it is where it kept going to. It was really frustrating. I hate it when cars do that. Let's see, here we are again. Back on the roof. Flipping it back over. Hey, there's our front bumper. It came to rest right there. Look at that back end. Mangled. There goes the hood. And it wants to go back on the roof again. Managed to get it to come back over as we get attacked by the hood. But it's a constant fight to keep this thing on the wheels. It just rolling constantly. And it came to rest against the boulder. That could have been bad with that really steep angle between the boulder and the side of the mountain. Thankfully, I was able to get it unstuck. But there you can see, it just, no matter what I do, it just really wants to flip over. Every little input, every little bump, this car wants to flip, and when it lands, there you go. It wants to land on its roof every time. And now, because I'm moving and sliding, it won't let me flip the thing over. I don't really understand why that's a thing in GTA. I guess it counts as motion, so you can't do the rolly thing. Whatever. But it was all the way into the tunnel before I could flip it back over, which is kind of ridiculous. Moving on to the rest of the really muddy, bumpy bits here. Back on its roof one more time, because why not? Gonna back up through that section, down into the final little stretch down in the ditch here. Through our last tunnel. And we're gonna come up and around our wood pile. Managed just to roll one more time. It tried to get on the roof. Did you see how it tried to stop? But we are finally down. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage on the F620. All the lights and windows are gone. The hood and the front bumper, as well as the right door, are missing. Has cement wheels, significant body damage, and it is a very hated car by Bruffy1322. Don't forget to go vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in Will It Off-Road by clicking on the link in the description down below. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.